for the early double. Fillies and Mares claiming Pacers at 1 mile, purse $2,000. First half of the early double, exact as in try. Scratch the 9 TM's Rockin' Robin Sick, being led to the post by outrider Kathy Hawk. The one is Whiskey Blue, owned by John Fike in New Albany, Ohio, trained and driven by Kane Kaufman. Number 2 is April Time Kim, owned by Stephen Moody at Dayton, Ohio, trained by Mike Riley, Cow-Ater. The 3 is Glowing Amber, owned by Ron Taubert at Dayton, Ohio, trained by Billy Taubert with Ron Taubert at the lines. The 4 is Esther L, owned by Melissa Levan of Marysville, Ohio, trained by Herb Levan, Jeff Fount. The 5 Bad Lady by Larry Six of Washington Courthouse, Ohio, trained by Jesse Bowen, Jeremy Smith. The 6 Power Pinch, owned and trained by James Bianchi of Columbus, Ohio, Sandy Beatty. Number 7 is Sweet Misty, owned, trained, and driven by J.D. Perrin of Sagamore Hills, Ohio. On the 8, Sharp Connection by Wiggins and Rose Stables, LOP of Xenia, Ohio, trained by Travis Red, and Randy Tharps is in her sulky. That's to kick off the early daily double. Field in motion. They're all fan pacing and moving out of there. There goes Esther L driving up right alongside. Bad Lady is placed on the go from the inside. Glowing Amber. These 3 tussle into the first turn. Away and forth, Whiskey Blue from the rail. Next there in 5, that is April Time Kim. 6th on the inside, Power Pinch, followed in 7th by Sweet Misty, and 8th in trailing Sharp Connection. As they step around the first turn and over to the opening quarter, and Glowing Amber was not content with a 2-hole trip here and has rolled right onto the front, placing Estorel the garden spot in 2nd. The opening quarter in 28 seconds flat. Along the inside, Bad Lady is settled in, racing in 3rd, and is now sent first over the outside. She's a bit rough in there. Along the inside, Whiskey Blue stays in from 4th. 2nd over the outside, catching the cover flow in 5. April Time Kim moving to the outside there in 6th. And 3rd over Power Pinch, followed by the 2 trailers of Sweet Misty and Sharp Connection. Stepping around the clubhouse turn in front of the paddock and on over to the half. They're rolling up top here with a lead. From the inside, they reach the half in 58 and 3/5. That's Glowing Amber. And to the outside, Bad Lady is attacking and is now trying to clear to the front. Driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4, and Bad Lady now clear to the front with less than 3/8 of a mile to go. And to the inside, Glowing Amber is trying to go with her in 2nd. There on the inside, Estorel is poised in 3rd. 4th to the inside, Whiskey Blue, followed in 5th by Power Pinch. Outside 6th, April Time Kim. 7th, that is Sweet Misty, and 8th in trailing the field, Sharp Connection. 3/4 and 1:27 and 1/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. From the inside, Bad Lady with a lead here by 2.5, 3 lengths. And to the inside, Glowing Amber is giving futile chase in 2nd. To the outside in 3rd, Estorel to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Bad Lady to the inside of the outside, Estorel. Here's Power Pinch, who is charging hard. And Power Pinch gets up to win it. Finishing 2nd of the mile, the 4, Estorel is close for 3rd. Time of the mile, 1:58 flat. Power Pinch. It's official, 6:48 official. The 6 Power Pinch returning 28.20, 12:46.60. 2nd, the 4 Estorel, $5, $5. 3rd of the 8 Sharp Connection, $7.60. Well, the 6-4 Exacta is worth $183.60, while the 648 Try is worth $2,652 even. Of 8 on gate. Swing to the back stretch, and there they go. This field is in motion. Being sent on their way. They're all fan trotting, firing out of there. There goes G7 Bingo getting the first call. Driving up on the outside, Just Call Me Son is placed forwardly here. Outside in 3rd, Macport looks to be driving on. 4th from the rail, Gotta Chill. Autocrat to the outside in 5. 6th is Domino Jack, followed in 7th by Garcia Parra. And 8th in trailing the field, that is Gildone. As they step around the first turn and over to the opening quarter, and Just Call Me Son in from Northfield Park. leading it here by a length and a quarter and takes them to the opening quarter in 28 4/5. On the inside, G7 Bingo released Just Call Me Son for the garden spot in 2. Macport takes the long mile, the outside trotting in 3rd. Gotta Chill at the pylons is racing in 4th. A gap of 2 and 5. Domino Jack outside in 6. Gildon is sent underway. 7 to the inside. Autocrat and 8th in trailing, but swung to the outside in 3rd over Garcia Parra as they step around the clubhouse turn in front of the paddock and on over to the half they roll. Up top, Just Call Me Son's going to take him to the half here in 59 4/5. A second panel with 31 seconds flat. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4. Just Call Me Son to the inside. In between them there, racing in second, that is Macport. Swung up 3 wide of the outside. Gildon continues to close at the pylons, racing in 4th and watching over these doing leaders. G7 Bingo locked in from 5. Gotta Chill to the outside in 6. Garcia Parra. 7th is Autocrat, who is 4th over, and 8th in trailing Domino Jack. 3/4, 129 1/5. They'll trot the final turn and head for home. To the inside, Just Call Me Son. Gildon to the outside. These two on even terms. Along the inside, G7 Bingo trots in 3rd. Gotta Chill 4th and swung up on the outside. Garcia Parra is closing. Less than an 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Just Call Me Son is digging down deep. Gildon on the outside. Here's Gotta Chill, who is charging hard to the outside, and Gotta Chill is going to get up to win it to give Sandy Beatty the early double. Finishing second the 5, Gildon. 3rd was the 6, Just Call Me Son. Down to the mile, 159 4/5. First victory in 2005 for the 1, Gotta Chill. Photo track side of the winner's circle, the official winner of the second race, 159 4/5. The 1, Gotta Chill. A 5-year-old bay horse by Dakota Spur out of a Tarport Devlin mare, Smoky Baby. Owned by Albert Gable at Dublin, Ohio. Nicely trained and driven by Sandy Beatty. The 1, Gotta Chill, 159 4/5. Ownership by Sherry Myers and Diane Smith, both of Ohio, trained by Sherry Myers, Jim Daly. Number 2 is Midway's Magic, owned and trained by John Bussey at Thornville, Ohio, Jeff Neisonger. The 3 is Sweet Preston, owned and trained by Marlene Rhodes of Ashland, Ohio, Dave Myers. The 4 is Nan's Dancer by the Shout Stable of Pompano Beach, Florida, trained and driven by Rick Shout. Number 5, Priced Right, owned by Josephine Campbell of Plain City, Ohio, trained by Mike Campbell, Kane Kaufman. The 6, Shalimar Yankee, owned and trained by Kenny Zena, Jackson, Ohio, Bill Long Jr. The 7 is Keely Moore of Mendon, Ohio's Pembroke Curtis, trained by Roy Murphy, Bob Harper. And for the outside of the 8, Vivian Finn, owned by Melby Ober Sr., Cable, Ohio, trained by Ann Hildebrand, Chip Noble, and the Sulky. That's the field for the 3rd race. Exact trifecta wagering. Field of 8. They're all fan pacing, driving away from the inside. Midway's Magic leaves alertly there, driving up in the middle. Nan's Dancer is on the go. From the inside, Perfect Daiquiri is coming away in 3rd. From the inside, Sweet Preston comes through to be 4. Caught to the outside in 5. Pembroke Artist is looking for a seat. Sliding through to be 5 now. That is Priced Right. 6th on the inside, Shalimar Yankee. 7th in skimming through, Vivian Finn. And 8th in trailing, clear back to the back. That is Pembroke Artist as they went the opening quarter in 29 1/5. And Nan's Dancer is rushing on to the top here. Into the inside, Midway's Magic is released for the garden spot, racing in 2 as they went that opening quarter in 29 1. Perfect Daiquiri inside in 3rd, followed by Sweet Preston in 4th. Tipped first double the outside in 5, Priced Right. 6th is Shalimar Yankee. 7th is Vivian Finn. 8th in being pulled up and out of the race here, Pembroke Artist, as they step around the clubhouse turn in front of the paddock and on over to the half. Up top, Nan's Dancer with the lead. Midway's Magic in two. They're halfway home, 59 3/5. Sent first over the outside in third. Price Right continues to close on the outside as they straighten up for their long journey down the backside towards three-quarters. Second over the outside in fourth. That is Perfect Daiquiri. Inside in five, Sweet Preston. Third over the outside in six, Shalimar Yankee. Seventh is Vivian Finn, and eighth and pulled up and out of the race. That is Pembroke Curtis. Wheeling towards the three-quarter mile mark of the race, and Nan's Dancer with a lead tier to the inside. Midway's Magic into three-quarters, 128 4/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. Into the inside, Nan's Dancer with a lead tier under a tap of the whip. Into the outside, racing into Midway's Magic's going to try to run her down as they turn for home with less than an eighth of a mile to pace. They're driving through Heartbreak Lane, and up top, Nan's Dancer with a lead. Midway's Magic is getting no closer in two as they drive towards the wire. Nan's Dancer is going to take this field gate to wire. Midway's Magic to go two. Price Right was third. Time of the mile, 1:57 3/5. Nan's Dancer in a new lifetime side of the winner's circle. The official winner of the third race, the 4 Nan's Dancer, in a new lifetime mark, 1:57 3. A 3-year-old bay filly by Mean Mr. Mustard out of a signed and sealed mare, Nan Patrick, owned by the Shout Stable, Pompano Beach, Florida. Nicely trained and driven by Rick Shout. The 4 Nan's Dancer, 1:57 3, new lifetime mark. Third race rundown, the 1 Perfect Daiquiri for the 2 Midway's Magic 2, the 3 Sweet Preston 7. Next, the 2 Chips and Ale, owned and trained by Marlene Rhodes of Ashland, Ohio, with Dave Myers. The 3 is Steve Jones of Montgomery, New York's Creditability, trained and driven by Chip Noble. The 4 Stable Creek Barb, owned by Burkholder and Lewis. They're both of Ohio, trained and driven by Barb Lewis. The 5 is the Indiana Kid by HBS Consulting Incorporated, E.G. Trott, James Paul. They're all the Buckeye State, trained by Ed Greeno Sr., Ed Greeno Jr. Up. The 6 Wildfire Julie by Theodore Black of Vandalia, Ohio, trained by R.J. Brown, Bob Harper. And the 7 Go Spread the Word, owned and trained by Vincent Golden of Westerville, Ohio. Dallas Miller is in the sulky. That's the field for the 4th race. Exact. There they go. Field in motion. They're all fan trotting and firing away from the outside. Wildfire Julie gets the first call and is crossing right over. Off stride went the 4 Stable Creek Barb as they trot around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. And Wildfire Julie is placed on the point here. At the inside, Hunter Nicole is trotting in second. Creditability is up on the outside, trotting on from third. Fourth, that is Chips and Ale, followed in 5 by the Indiana Kid. Sixth is Go Spread the Word, and 7th and trailing, but back down trotting Stable Creek Barb. Trotting by the opening quarter. The opening quarter was sent in 29 3/5, and Creditability and Chip Noble. Up top here is dictating the fractions, your 2 to 5 Punter's Choice, leading the way here by a length and a half. To the inside, Wildfire Julie is let loose there, racing in second in that garden spot. Hunter Nicole was trotting in third, a gap of 2 and 4th. Chips and Ale followed in 5 by the Indiana Kid. 6th, that is Go Spread the Word, and trailing the field, but back catching the field, and a move to the outside. Stable Creek Barb as they step in front of the paddock. They reach the half in 1:01 1/5. A leisurely second quarter there for the 3 Creditability. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards three-quarters Creditability. Up top here by 2. To the inside, Wildfire Julius trying to go with her from second. Up on the outside, trotting in third. Stable Creek Barb is right back in the mix of things here as third. Now second and driving towards that leader. To the inside, Hunter Nicole trots in fourth. Second over the outside and 5, the Indiana Kid. 6th is Chips and Ale, and 7th and trailing Go Spread the Word has lost contact with the field. 3/4 and 1:31 2/5. They'll trot the final turn and head for home, and Creditability, not an anxious moment thus far, trying to make every polo winning win to the top of Power Alley. Less than an eighth of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come, and Creditability with the lead here. Wildfire Julie is getting no closer as they roll within the final 16th. The 3-year-old daughter of Credit winner, Creditability, well in hand. Wildfire Julie to go second. Hunter Nicole was third. Down to the mile, 2 minutes and 2/5. Creditability in a new
your
lifetime
official
mark.
winner, timed in 2 minutes and 2/5 to establish a new lifetime mark, the second win of her career, the 3 Creditability.
A 3-year-old Bay filly by Credit Winner and of a Valley Victory mare, Key Lime Hanover, known by Steve Jones of Montgomery, New York. Nicely trained and driven to victory by Chip Noble. The 3 Creditability, new lifetime mark, stands at 2 minutes, 2/5, and returns 280, 210, 220. Second to 6, Wildfire Julie, 340, 420. Third of the 1, Hunter Nicole, 360. There's a Charm, owned by Melissa Levan, Marysville, Ohio, trained by Herb Levan, Jeff Neisonger. Number 2, Spider Girl by Smith and Tomasco. They're both of Ohio, trained by Bill Mount Pleasant, Dallas Miller. The 3, Jessica's Turn, owned by Walter Kaplinger of Frankfort, Ohio, trained by Ron Barker with Randy Tharps. The 4 is She's Our Hen, owned by Ferguson, Walker, Tallman, and Wilson. They're all of the Buckeye State, trained by Jim Ferguson, Bob Harper. The 5 is White Sand Siren, owned by Alan Keith of Pataskala, Ohio, trained by Mike Roth, Chip Noble. The 6 is Dean Davis and Frank Dettori of Ohio's Red Hot Dame, trained by Kurt Sugg, Kane Kaufman. Number 7, My Personal Girl, owned and trained by Marlon Fry of Anderson, Indiana, Ron Stack. With the gate, Bryce's Fine Filly by Lori Shine of Virginia, Boyd Ertenhausen of Ohio, trained and driven by Jeff Fount. For the outside of the 9, Sandy's Pill Jill by Rosemary and Andrew Stephen of Litchfield, Ohio, trained by Jeff Mallets, Jim Daly. And for the second tier, number 10, Mrs. Wiz, owned by Nevin Gilbert and Janet Bennett of the Keystone State, trained and driven by Dean Collins, Ian Hersulke. Taz summons for the 5th race, Fillies and Mares, Maiden Pacers. Rechecking the rundown top to bottom, it should read 598, 423, 10, 7, 6, 1 on the bottom. That's after the placings. Forget this, the Mid-America Harness Drivers Amateur Series presents the 1, Do Rock, owned by the Hatfield Stables of Columbus, Ohio, trained by Milton Smith, Bud Hatfield at the lines. Number 2, Our Brutus, owned by Dave Ehrenberg II of Westerville, Ohio, trained by Dick Neff, Dave Ehrenberg II, the pilot. Number 3 is Right Rigger, owned by Bob Troyer, Middlefield, Ohio, trained by Jill Millette with Bob Troyer. The 4, Fiery Hit, by Roger Bartley and Roger Bartley Jr., both of the Buckeye State, trained and driven by Roger Bartley Jr. The 5, Say Lane, owned by Kevin Hewitt of Heath, Ohio, trained by Dave Morgan. Dave Morgan is up. The 6, Kipling Avenue, owned, trained and driven by Bob Chapman of Columbus, Ohio. Number 7, Kiwi Battler, owned by Brent Davis of Zanesville, Ohio, trained by R. Mac Davis. Brent Davis, the driver. And for the outside of the 8, Pistol Pack and Trotter, owned by Melissa Levan of Marysville, Ohio, trained by Herb Levan, Robert Steck, and the Sulky. That's the field for the 6th race, the Mid-American Harness Drivers Amateur Series. Exact trifecta wagering, field of 8, no changes, post time, 9:13, 7 minutes away. Field in motion. They're off and trotting in the Mid-America Harness Drivers Amateur Series, and very nice start here. Flashing early speed from the middle of the track, Say Elaine and Say Elaine, but in between them there, driving on, that's the 2, Our Brutus. From the rail, Do Rock is coming away in 2. Along the inside, Kipling Avenue is now in 3rd, looking to be angled to the pylon in 4th. That is Say Elaine. 5th and cut outside, Kiwi Battlers. 6th to the inside, Right Rigger, followed in 7th by Fiery Hit. And 8th and trailing, Pistol Pack and Trotter. The opening quarter came and went in a spirited 28 2/5. Driving on by the fans for the first time and heading on over to the half, and Do Rock and Bud Hatfield out there on the point, leading it by a length and a half. And to the inside, Our Brutus is trotting in that garden spot in 2. Here's Kiwi Battler, and Kiwi Battler is now circling over the outside and looking to take the lead here as they enter the clubhouse turn in front of the Pentagon. Over to the half they roll. From the inside, Do Rock is rebuffed. Kiwi Battler to the garden spot, through a half here in 59 4. Our Brutus to the inside, shuffled in 3rd, 4th, that is Kipling Avenue, followed in 5 by Say Lane. 6th is Right Rigger, and the 2 trailers remain Fiery Hit and Pistol Pack and Trotter. Midway down the backside, less than 3/8 of a mile to travel. Do Rock up top, leading it by a length and a half. To the inside, Kiwi Battler and stalking in 2. Sent first over the rim, trotting in 3rd there, that is Kipling Avenue. Buried to the pylons in in fourth, Our Brutus. Outside in 5, that's Say Lane. 6th on the inside, Fiery Hit. They went 3/4 and 131 flat. 7 to the outside. Right Rigger 8th and trailing the field. That's the 8 Pistol Pack and Trotter as they turn to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Less than an eighth of a mile to trot. And down the stretch they come. Do Rock and Bud Hatfield sets this one down on top by 2. Kiwi Battler trying to come to him. Kipling Avenue on the outside as they come to the wire. Do Rock, Kiwi Battler. Do Rock hangs on to win it. Kiwi Battler to go second. Kipling Avenue is third. Down to the mile, 2 minutes and 3/5. Do Rock. The Mid-America Harness Drivers Amateur Series from off the rail. Here's the one, Do Rock. Posting the second win in 2005, an 8-year-old bay gelding by SJ's Photo out of a Noble Victory mare, Miss Piggy. Owned by the Hatfield Stables at Columbus, Ohio, trained by Milton Smith. Nicely handled cheer this evening by one of North America's finest amateur drivers, Bud Hatfield, from right here in Columbus. The one, Do Rock in Bud Hatfield. 2 minutes, 3/5. One stable, trained by Jim Ferguson, Bob Harper. Number 2 is Super Bandit, by Jerry Falk and Connie Armstrong of Delaware, Ohio, trained by Jerry Falk, Chip Noble. The 3 is Smooch, owned and trained by Emor Bailey of Lebanon, Ohio, Sandy Beatty. Number 4, Bright Connection, by Alvin and Neil Long of Ohio, trained and driven by Jeremy Smith. Number 5, Wildfire Rose, by Theodore Black of Vandalia, Ohio, trained by R.J. Brown, Randy Tharps. The 6, Don Carlos Hanover, by Brent Davis of Zanesville, Ohio, trained by R. Mac Davis with Adam Rucker. Number 7, Autumn Levesque, owned by Greg Bucky and Tom York Jr., both of Ohio, trained by Jim Artledge Jr., Del S. Miller. And for the outside of the 8, That's George, by William and Barbara Paul, Powell, Ohio, trained and driven by Jim Daly and the Sulky. That's the field for the 7th race. Field in motion. They're all fan trotting and going for the lead. There goes Smooch right alongside there. That is the 4, Bright Connection, hung 3 wide into the first turn. That's Don Carlos Hanover looking for a seat. 4th from the rail, that is Chaperone, followed up on the outside in 5, that's George. 6 to the pylon, Super Bandit. In the 2 trailers here of Wildfire Rose and Autumn Levesque as they step around the first turn and over to the initial quarter. From the inside with the lead here, that's Smooch, but driving over the outside, Don Carlos Hanover. The opening quarter came and went in 29 2/5, and Don Carlos Hanover, but over the outside, Chaperone is looking to brush on to the top here, and Chaperone brushes right on with less than 5/8 of a mile to go. Don Carlos Hanover is yielded for that pocket trip in 2. Gap at 2 and 3rd, Smooch. 4th and shuffled there, Bright Connection. 5th, that's George. 6th on the inside as they step around the clubhouse turn in front of the paddock and on over the half. Super Bandit, the 2 trailers remain. Wildfire Rose, Autumn Levesque through a half in a solid 59 seconds flat. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 and up top. Chaperone with a late tier. Harper dictating the fractions with him, leading it by length in 3 parts. Inside in 2, that is Don Carlos Hanover, swung up 3 wide on the outside. Here comes That's George, and That's George is trotting up a storm. 4th, now 3rd, now 2nd, advancing right alongside of the leader. These 2 on even terms. Chaperone, That's George, 3/4, 128 and 4/5. They'll trot the final turn and head for home. Into the inside, Chaperone, That's George on the outside, and a tippy tap of the whip from Daly there. Don Carlos Hanover's 4 lengths back in 3rd as they turn to the top of the stretch. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come, driving through Heartbreak Lane. That's George on the outside is starting to edge away just in front of the tote board. That's George in front. Chaperone to go second. Don Carlos Hanover 3rd. Down the mile, 158, 1/5. That's George in a new lifetime mark. Backside of the winner's circle. Official winner of the 7th race in a new lifetime mark, 158 and 1/5. Here's the 8, That's George, a 4-year-old brown gelding by Inquirer out of a self-confident mare, Lita Lobel. by William and Barbara Paul of Powell, Ohio. Nicely trained and driven to victory by Jim Daly. Of the 8, That's George, and a new lifetime mark, 158 1/5. London, Ohio, Leo Groves. Number 2, Pay Me Big Guy, owned by Charles Autry of Cincinnati, Ohio, trained by Eddie Pulling, Justin Hall. Number 3, Soki's Patron, by Victor Gray II, Wilson of Ohio, trained by Victor Gray II, Randy Tharps. The 4, Say Hi, by Reed Racing in Newark, Ohio, trained and driven by Dean Collins. Number 5, Dots Big Guy, owned by Joseph Shemaya, Lexington, Kentucky, trained by Mike Riley, Kyle Wader. Number 6 is Strathblair, by Thomas Morrow of Richwood, Ohio, trained by Eddie Bibler, Bob Harper. Number 7, Noble Strike, by Jason Bloom of Blaine City, Ohio, trained by Joe Paver, Jim Daly. Of the 8, Rocket, owned and trained by Barry Armstrong of Columbus, Ohio, Adam Rucker. For the outside of the 9, Flaming Rocky, by Kevin McKinney of Lebanon, Ohio, trained and driven by Kane Kaufman. And for the second tier, number 10, Canico Galleon, by Roger Bartley at Reynoldsburg, Ohio, trained by Roger Bartley Jr. Brandon Bartley is in the sulky. That's the field for the 8th race. Late pick 3, exacta trifecta wagering. Into the back stretch, and there they go to kick off the late pick 3. Field in motion. They're all fan pacing from the outside. Rocket with his head down low is wheeling out for command here. In between horses, Say Hi is on the go. Coming away in third, that's Pay Me Big Guy. Forwardly placed, angle to the pylons in fourth, Noble Strike. Fifth on the inside, Soki's Patron. Sixth from the rail, that's First Time Adam. To the inside in seventh, That's Big Guy. Eighth on the inside there, that is Strathblair. Ninth on the outside, that's Flaming Rocky. And 10th and trailing, Canico Galleon. The opening quarter came and went here as they race by the opening quarter untimed. On by the stands for the first time and heading on over to the half. Up top, Rocket with a late tier by length and a half. And to the inside, Say Hi is stalking that garden spot, racing into first over on the rim, racing third, Soki's Patron. Fourth on the inside, Pay Me Big Guy. Second over the outside in fifth, that's Dots Big Guy as they step around the clubhouse turn in front of the paddock and on over to the half. Third over the outside, racing in sixth there, that is Flaming Rocky. They were halfway home, untimed there, off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 and up top with the late tier, Rocket and Adam Rucker by length and a half. On the inside, Say Hi is in 2, swung up 3 wide on the outside. Dots Big Guy is closing ground with every single stride. In between them, that's racing in fourth. Soki's Patron cannot go on. Fifth on the inside, Pay Me Big Guy, all jammed up in a blind switch. Noble Strike as they race around the final turn, and Rocket with a late tier by length and a half. Into the inside, racing into that Say Hi. Dots Big Guy is still closing in third. Flaming Rocky on the outside in fourth. Fifth, that is Strathblair to the top of the stretch. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come into the inside. Rocket. But on the outside, Say Hi is coming at him and coming on. Rocket to the inside. Say Hi on the outside. These two are going to hit the wire together. Noses apart there. I believe it was the 8, Rocket holding on over the 4, Say Hi. Finishing third of the 5, Dots Big Guy. The 8, Rocket. Timed in 1:57 1/5. For the 5th win in 2005, the 8 Rocket, an 8-year-old bay gelding by Pacific Rocket out of a direct scooter mare, Ombro Lona. Owned and trained by Barry Armstrong of Columbus, Ohio. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Adam Rucker. The 8 Rocket and Adam Rucker, 1:57 1/5. So official, 8:45 official. The 8 Rocket returning 12:60, 5:40, 5:40. Second, the 4 Say Hi returning 61:40, 8:20. Third of the 5 Dots Big Guy, $4. 8-4 exacta, 2:12. Condition trotters at 1 mile, purse at $2,400, a field of 10, no changes. Number 1 is Ms. Foxy Color, owned by Joseph Lanning of Zanesville, Ohio, trained by Lloyd Hawk, Bill Long Jr. Number 2, Racy Red, owned and trained by Jeffrey Short of Delaware, Ohio, Dallas Miller. The 3, the Don's Dame, owned by Ronald Smigelski of Clarendon Hills, Illinois, trained by Jim Ferguson, Bob Harper. The 4, Secret Dancer by E.G. Trott, Limited Liability Company, HBS Consulting Incorporated, Findlay, Ohio, trained by Ed Greeno Sr., Ed Greeno Jr., the driver. The 5, Cinder Lane Brew, owned by David Ward, Ottawa, Ohio, trained by Dan Conkright, Sandy Beatty. Number 6, Striking Arnold, owned and trained by Ron Householder of Westerville, Ohio, Dave Myers. The 7 is Stephen Watkins of Sydney, Ohio's Insulted, trained by Danny McCulloch, Kyle Ader. With the 8, Easy Lover, owned by Gilbert and Mary Jane Travis of Galloway, Ohio, trained by Gilbert Travis. Gilbert Travis is up. The outside of the 9, Power Puff Girl by Bruce and Patricia Soulsby of Powell, Ohio, trained and driven by Rick Schau. And for the second tier, number 10, Looks Like a Rose, owned by Fred Polk of Zanesville, Ohio, trained by Steve Baker, Justin Hall, Yen Herselke. Getting set for a start to kick off the late Daily Double. Field in motion. Off stride went the 8, Easy Lover before the start. They're all fan trotting, firing away for the lead. Break the 2, Racy Red, who left, is now off stride. Driving out the Don's Dame, in between them, Cinder Lane Brew. Up on the outside, Striking Arnold is on the go. Way in fourth from the rail, that's Ms. Foxy Collar. 5th on the outside there. That is Power Puff Girl. 6th from the second tier, Looks Like a Rose. Followed in 7th by Secret Dancer. 8th there along the rail, that is Insulted. The 2 trailers here off stride. Racing in 9th to come back through to be trotting now. Easy Lover in 10th and trailing still off stride, Racy Red. The opening quarter was trotted in 29 3/5 and on by the stands for the first time and heading on down to the half. The Don's Dame and Bob Harper up top here with less than 5/8 of a mile to go. Into the inside, Cinder Lane Brew is stalking in second. Striking Arnold trots in third. Ms. Foxy Collar has been unused from the rail in fourth. 5th on the inside, Looks Like a Rose. Outside, racing in 6th, Insulted. 7th, that is Power Puff Girl. As they race by the half in 1:01 1/5. Down along the inside, racing in 8th there, that is Secret Dancer, and the 2 trailers after those early miscues. 9th is Easy Lover in 10th and trailing Racy Red, who is now trotting. Midway down the backside and up top here, the Don's Dame and Bob Harper with a lead by a length and a quarter. To the outside, Striking Arnold at that leader's wheel disc in 2. Cinder Lane Brew could not go on from 3rd. Outside, swung up 3 wide. Insulted is closing 3/4 and 1:31 1/5. In between them, racing in 4th there, Ms. Foxy Collar. They'll trot the final turn and head for home. Into the inside, the Don's Dame, but Striking Arnold is bearing down on the outside and ready to be swung 3 wide for the stretch drive. Insulted with less than 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come, Striking Arnold. But to the outside, Insulted, and Insulted is charging hard. Insulted is going away here. Insulted in front. Striking Arnold to go second. Ms. Foxy Collar trots on for third. Down with the mile 2:01 2/5. Insulted in a first career victory. 1 2/5. Now your official winner for the first career victory, the 7 Insulted, a 4-year-old bay horse by Donna Rail out of a Bonefish mare, Salinas, owned by Stephen Watkins of Sydney, Ohio, trained by Danny McCulloch. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Kyle Ader. The 7 Insulted, first career victory, 2:01 2/5, and returns to win 1480, 660, 520. Second of the mile, the 6, Striking Arnold, 540, 540. Third of the 1, Ms. Foxy Collar, 280. 7-6 Exacta, 137. Finale, the 1, Matt on the Chew, owned and trained by Jim Artledge of Circleville, Ohio, Bob Harper. Number 2 is Slide Hawk, owned by Webb of Danville, Kentucky, trained by Mike Gibson, Jeff Nysonger. Number 3, Lucky's Report, owned by Andrea Ellis of Wilmington, Ohio, trained by Larry Fisher, Mark Winters. The 4, Fritzy.com, owned by Clarence Folk of Springfield, Ohio, trained by Bob Del Bianco with Randy Tharps. The 5, Foo 2, owned and trained by Aaron Hamilton of Crooksville, Ohio, Adam Rucker. The 6, Electric Tan Man, Owned by Edward Govang of Aurora, Ohio. Trained by Bill Mount Pleasant, Dallas Miller. The 7, Chasing the Dream. Gary Condon of Westerville, Ohio owns. Ron Steck trains and drives. The 8 is Rain and Schmitz of Ohio's Michael's Majesty. Trained by Harold Rain, Jim Daly. The 9 is Brooklet 6-Pack. Owned and trained by Jerry Kincaid, Huber Heights, Ohio, Scott Ferguson. Into the second tier, number 10, Ahoka Spirit, owned by Capuano Vincent Severio of Reynoldsburg, Ohio, trained by Tom Blankenship. Dave Myers is in the sulky. That's the end of the back stretch, and there they go for the Superfecta finale. Field in motion. They're off and pacing, moving away from the inside. There goes the 4, Fritzy.com. On the outside, Michael's Majesty is on the go from the rail, Matt on the chooch. These 3 tussle into the first turn, away and forth from the second tier. Ahoka Spirit in there in 5, Slide Lock, followed by Lucky's Report in 6. 7th is Food 2. 8 to the Pylons, Electric Tan Man of the 2 trailers, Chasing the Dream. And Brooklet's 6-Pack can see them all. The opening quarter came and went in a blistering 26 4/5. Up top here, Michael's Majesty made the top but had to pay the price. And Matt on the Chooch is right back out for the retake here. Matt on the Chooch brushing to the front. Michael's Majesty yielded for that garden spot in 2. Third, that is Fritzy.com, who's edging off the Pylons there, committing first over on the outside, racing in 3. Ahoka Spirit to follow the cover, 4th. 5th on the outside, Slide Lock. 6th on the inside, Lucky's Report, as they went the half in 56 2/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4. Matt on the Chooch up top in the final here, leading it by a length and a half, 2. To the inside, racing in 2nd. That's Michael's Majesty. Outside, gaining ground in 3rd, Fritzy.com. Slide Lock continues to advance on the outside in 4th. All bottled up. Ahoka Spirit in 5. Outside in 6. Food 2. 7th and locked in. Lucky's Report. 8th and 3 deep. Chasing the Dream. 9th and 10th. Electric Tan Man and Brooklet's 6-Pack. They went 3/4. 125 1/5. They'll pace to the top of the stretch with less than an eighth of a mile to pace, and they're on the way home in the nightcap. On top, Matt on the Chooch with a late tier by 2, now 3, now 4 lengths, and it's opening up and drawing away with every single stride. Matt on the Chooch, well in hand. Finishing second, the 4, Fritzy.com. Third is going to be the 2, Slide Lock. Over the 3, Lucky's Report around the Super, 154 1/5. 2005 from off the rail, the 1, Matt on the Chooch. 4-year-old bake outing by Matt Candu out of a long mare, Circleville. Owned and trained by Jim Artledge of Circleville, Ohio. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Bob Harper. The 1, Matt on the Chooch, 154 1/5. So official, 1-4-2-3 official. The 1, Matt on the Chooch, 562 42-20. Second, the 4, Fritzy.com, 262 20. Third of the 2, Slide Lock, $6. 1-4 exact, 1180. 1-4-2 try. Get back to that.